Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, September 5th, 2020. I am Karen Bodenschatz. I serve as pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin. And it's Saturday morning. And so I don't know that I noticed this, but my coffee cup, well, depending on where I put it, is as big as my head. But I'll tell you, I need it this morning because I lost track of how many takes this is. Welcome to Saturday, everybody. So today we're going to talk about the readings that have been assigned for tomorrow, to give you a chance to read them and to ponder them before you hear the sermon tomorrow. And so those readings are going to be down in the description, and I'm going to tell them to you now. Readings for tomorrow are Ezekiel 33, 7 through 11, Psalm 119, 33 through 40, Romans 13, 8 through 14, and Matthew 18, 15 through 20. And Matthew 18 is the one that I am going to muse with you today. It says, Jesus said to the disciples, "If another member of the church sins against you, go and point out the fault when the two of you are alone. If the member listens to you, you have regained that one. But if you are not listened to, take one or two others along with you so that every word may be confirmed by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. If the member refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if the offender refuses to listen even to the church, let such a one be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly I tell you, if 2 of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them." Oftentimes people want to focus on those last couple verses. We're not going to talk about those today. I'm going to talk about those first verses. I read this a couple weeks ago. I thought I was preaching this week. I'm not. I'm preaching next week. And so that started rolling around in my head as I was preparing for a sermon I'm not preaching and preparing worship. And so, because here's the deal, friends. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee first. This scripture passage is at the core of who we are as church and how we choose to deal with one another. This is actually written into the Constitution in the ways that we are one another as members, at least in ELCA congregations. And yet, it is one of the hardest things for us to do. It was even hard before social media and the internet and all of those ways that we now interact with each other. I think it's even triple, maybe quadruply harder. You know what I mean. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, especially in this time of pandemic when I can't go to a person's house and sit down with them or have coffee with them and have a long conversation. And so how do we treat one another when another person hurts us? I don't think, in fact, I know that if Matthew was here today in 2020, would say, write a post on their Facebook post, or write a comment on their Facebook post, or their Instagram, or their Twitter, or whatever. And I'm almost positive that Matthew would say, and don't instant message them or direct message them. Because there's barriers, right? We all know this. We've received those text messages from people we love and know and are like, what? Why are you so upset? And the other person's like, I'm not upset, right? We just can't read emotion and nonverbal cues, no matter how many emojis you put in your text messages when they're electronic. Jesus in Matthew is advocating for face-to-face conversation when you are hurt by somebody. And we really don't like that because Most of us would rather not enter into a difficult conversation. It's just hard. And so it's easier to post or to do it via email. But Matthew is saying, no, go to a place where the two of you are alone and talk about it. Oftentimes I've found that once you do step number 1, step number 2 isn't needed. Like, y'all figure it out. And as hard as it is, it's really worth it to have those difficult conversations. And they're usually not as difficult as I think they're going to be. Here's the other thing that Matthew doesn't necessarily say, but that is implied. If someone sins against you, as Matthew says, someone does something that hurts you, and you decide not to tell them about it, to not talk to them about it, then you decide not to talk about it to anybody, which is also hard. So for Matthew, it's all about that one-on-one communication and the strength of the relationship within the community. And that relationship within the community cannot be strengthened if you are talking about someone else to someone else. We call that a triangle, which can be healthy or unhealthy. We're not going to go into that today because we're already over 6 minutes. So friends, here's what I want you to chew on for the next few days. And I look forward to hearing what Pastor Stanton is going to preach on tomorrow and what he has to say about this. But if you have issue with someone, go directly to them and talk it through with them. You will both be better for it. Even if it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go or the way you want it to go, you will still be better for it. And if you choose not to, then let it go. And I'll leave you with that earworm. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you in worship tomorrow, 9:15 and 10:30. 10:30 if it's not raining, and we'll be outdoors. If it is raining, then just worship at 9:15. We'll have it all over social media, our website, and I think we'll text everybody. So otherwise, I will see you at 9:15. Well, for sure, I'll see you at 9:15. Have a great day, everybody.